I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. It is Sunday, August 21st, 2022, and we are live. Hey, Giovanni, let me know if the audio, how the audio sounds. I had to reboot the computer because it installed a new version of Skype when I rebooted it to come on the air live. Okay, so calling number is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600 is the calling number if you have a question or comment. All right, so we have a jam-packed show. As I was saying right before the break, we're going to be joined by Omari Osei of the Universal Negro Improvement Association at the bottom of the hour as well. The 64th Annual International Convention of the UNIA is coming up this week here in Detroit. So he's going to give us some information about that. All right. Okay. And also Saturday, August 20th was the 400th year anniversary, third year anniversary of August 20th, 1619 in Jamestown, Virginia. Well, actually, it was Hampton, Virginia, not Jamestown. Hampton, Virginia, when that English pirate ship called the White Lion comes into Virginia at Point Comfort, and they exchange 20 and odd Africans for food and water. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that history, and we'll do a recap of my online course that I teach normally on the weekend, normally on Saturdays, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. I did a special session of the class on Friday because I was out of town this weekend. It could not teach the class. So we'll give a brief recap on that as well. All right, now on the African History Network show, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's corrects wrong behavior. What you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you and get away with is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you've been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. So when you control the radius of a man or woman's thoughts, you can control the circumference of his or her actions, because the mind can't do or teach what it doesn't know. Now, we deal with a number of different topics here on the African History Network show. We deal with current events in history and politics, education, economic empowerment, entrepreneurship, relationships, love, sex, health issues, and much more. Email newsletter, text the word Kemet, K-E-M-E-T, to 22828 to sign up for our email newsletter. Text the word Kemet, K-E-M-E-T, to 22828 to sign up for our email newsletter. Also visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, to sign up for the email newsletter there as well. Okay, so early in the week, I posted this story on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, and it deals with racism when it comes to home appraisals. Racism when it comes to home appraisals. And there's a huge story from the New York Times dealing with this. The name of the story: Home Appraised with a black owner, $472,000, with a white owner, $750,000. Home appraised with a black owner, $472,000, with a white owner, $750,000. Okay, so I want to talk about that here in the first as our lead story today. We're broadcasting on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network, and our YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, I-M-H-O-T-E-P, as well. So we're working through some technical difficulties here. But if we look at this first story, now this is from August 18th, 2022 from the New York Times, and it was updated August 19th. Dr. Nathan Connolly and his wife, Shani Mott, say an appraisal company undervalued the home based on their race. The couple has filed a lawsuit in Maryland. Now, and here's a picture of the couple as well. Now, they mess with the wrong person because he's Dr. Nathan Connolly is a professor of history at Johns Hopkins University. Okay, so last summer, Nathan Connolly and his wife, Shani Mott, M-O-T-T, welcomed an appraiser into their house in Baltimore, Maryland, hoping to take advantage of historically low interest rates and refinance their mortgage. Now, we also talked about how Wells Fargo came under fire when they turned away more applications to refinance home mortgages from African American lenders than they actually approved. Now that's being investigated, but we've dealt with that story here dealing with Wells Fargo also. Okay, now the couple believed that their house improved with a new $5,000 tankless water heater and $35,000 in renovations. They believed that the house was worth more than $450,000, more than the $450,000 that they paid for the house in 2017. Now, home prices have been on the rise nationwide since the pandemic. In Baltimore, Maryland, they have gone up. Home prices have gone up 42% in the past 5 years. 42% in the past 5 years, according to the website hello.com. But 2020 valuations, the Maryland Appraisal Company, 2020 valuations, put the home's value at $472,000. And in turn, Loan Depot, a mortgage lender, denied the couple a refinance loan because of the appraisal value. Now, Dr. Nathan Connolly said he knew why. His wife and 3 children, his children are ages 15, 12, and 9, are African American. Now, Dr. Nathan Connolly is a professor of history at Johns Hopkins University, and he is an expert on redlining and the legacy of white supremacy. Redlining and the legacy of white supremacy in American cities. And much of his research focuses on the role of race in the housing market. Now, months after the appraisal, the couple applied for another finance loan. They removed family photos and had a white male colleague who was another Johns Hopkins University professor, Johns Hopkins University. The white colleague is another Johns Hopkins University professor. So they had the white friend stand in for them as the homeowner. And we've covered numerous stories about the same phenomenon happening. And when this happens and they have somebody white to sit in to pretend to be the homeowner, they took down all the African art. They took down all the African American and African related books. You know, I don't know if you want to have the destruction of Black civilization, out when the white appraiser comes, by Dr. Chancellor Williams. Fantastic book. Don't know if you want to have that on the coffee table when the white appraiser comes. Okay, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodney. Black Man in the Nile and His Family by Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen. Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust, Slavery and the Rise of European Capitalism by Dr. John Henry Clark. Fantastic books. I don't think you want to have those on the coffee table or have those visible when the white appraiser comes. So they take down all the African art. They take down the Terry McMillan books. They take down anything. They take down all the pictures, etc. And then they make it look like somebody white lives there. And all of a sudden, the second appraiser, right, valued the house at $750,000. Valued the house at $750,000. Okay. We're going to continue this on the other side of the break. Also, we're going to be joined by Omari Osei to talk about the UNIA's 64th Annual International Convention. You listen to the African History Network show. I'm Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, stand by. Stand by. Bathroom break in 4 minutes. All right. After we finish with this interview, we're going back to that story. Bathroom break in 3 minutes. Stand by. Bathroom break in 2 minutes. Stand by. Bathroom break in 2 minutes. Stand by. Bathroom break in 1 minute. Stand by, everybody. Welcome back to the African History Network show. Welcome back to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM, the Superstation, the Future Radio. I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. It is Sunday, August 21st, 2022. All right, and we are live once again. So right before the break, we were dealing with this story that came from the New York Times, and the other news outlets picked up this story also. Home appraised with the black homeowner, $472,000, with the white homeowner, $750,000. There's an article also from CNN on this topic as well from August 19th, 2022. They talked about Dr. Nathan Connolly and his wife Shani Mott as well, filing a lawsuit against 2020 Valuations LLC. So we're going to pick this story up again on the other side of this interview. I want to go to on the phone lines. We're joined by Omari Osei, and Omari Osei is with the Universal Negro Improvement Association, the UNIA, the organization that Marcus Garvey founded started in Jamaica. in 1914, and then we know he comes to the U.S. in 1915, and he starts setting up. Well, actually comes to the U.S. in 1916, a year after Booker T. Washington dies, and he starts setting up chapters of the UNIA here in the U.S. So they have a international convention, the 64th annual international convention coming up here in Detroit, and he's here to give us some information on that. So welcome to the African History Network show. Omari Osei, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Michael, for having me.
All right.
I'm doing really well. I'm in very good spirits. Just left the Healing Drum Circle.
Okay.
So I'm fired up.
All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So the conference is coming up. And first off, we know we just celebrated the 135th birthday. I think it was 135th birthday, August 17th, of Marcus Garvey. He was born in 1887 in Jamaica. So before we go any further, give us talk a little bit about Marcus Garvey and his significance when it comes to African American history. Okay, especially being that his birthday just passed. Give people a little background information who may not know on Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Thank you very much, Michael and Imhotep. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, he came here to the United States in the early 1900s. And when he arrived here in the United States, he asked himself the question, and the people the question, where is the black man's government?
Right.
Where is the men of principle? Where are the men of big affairs? Where are the men that stand for something? And when he didn't see that, he went about to organize black people so that black people could organize themselves back into self-governance. So he established the Universal Negro Improvement Association, which wasn't received well in Jamaica. But when he came here to the United States, his membership swelled because obviously the people here saw the need for the unification of our people.
Right.
So Garvey went about to establish the UNIA with his wife, Amy Jakes Garvey. And he worked tirelessly. He established the largest black organization documented in United States history.
Right.
However, the counterintelligence program of the United States government worked against the organization. Therefore, they attempted to thwart the organization, but they could not stump it out. And we're still here. We're still organizing. And we have come to the place where we're celebrating 64 years of coming together at convention so that we can take care of the business of our government. So the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey is one that we should study his life, study his work, and see how we can build on that foundation. Because he came amongst us with a clear vision and insight to unite a people that needed to be united, who had to be reminded that they have come from greatness.
Right.
So he set about to instill racial pride. He gave us economy. He went on to establish the Black Star Line. And he made agreements with the Liberian government so that we can repatriate back to Liberia before the Liberian heads of state were influenced by the United States leaders at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the deal that he had made with the Liberian government to buy land and to begin to plant and root ourselves in Liberia was thwarted by the United States government. So we could go on and on about our great ancestor, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Right. Right.
However,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and finish your thought. Go ahead.
So we can go on and on about our great ancestor, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. But I want to leave you with this thought. He left this with us. He said, "Up, you mighty race. Accomplish what you will."
Right. Exactly. So there was what was called the Garvey Must Go campaign. You had people like A. Philip Randolph, Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. You had Dr. W.B. Du Bois. You had other leading African American activists, civil rights activists, leaders, things like this. Many of them were against Garvey for various reasons, against the him setting up chapters here of the UNIA. There were some of them were like, who is this guy from Jamaica coming here telling us what to telling us what to do, or trying to show us what to do, things like this. So because you're a member, and let people know what your official position is also with the UNIA, is a second vice president in the UNIA Division 407. Is that correct?
Yes, brother. Thank you very much. Yes, second vice president of Division 407,
right?
Which it has been established for 100 years.
Mm-hmm. So let people.
And my name is Omari Osei.
Okay, Omari. What's the middle name?
Again, brother.
What's the middle name?
Talib.
Okay, Osei. So let people explain to people, why was there we're dealing with white supremacy and racism, and there's white supremacy and racism in Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Honduras. And keep in mind, as I teach in my online classes like Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, understand the transatlantic slave trade, as we deal with here on this show, the island nations, the territories that Christopher Columbus conquered on his 4 voyages from 1492 to 1504, have never recovered from what happened to them. And Jamaica is one of the lands that Columbus conquers. I think it's about 1494. I think it was 1494 when he goes into Jamaica. Explain to people why there was resistance from African American leaders who are fighting against many of them fighting against white supremacy in various ways. Why was there resistance from them against Marcus Garvey, who's fighting against white supremacy as well, and setting up the UNIA here in the U.S.?
Well, when you study the history of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, he explains that the leaders who came against him in this land, they were leaders that didn't believe in self-governance. Their goal was for us to integrate into American society at a time when it was very clear that the racism that existed at that time and that it still exists made it very clear to us that integration wasn't the best idea. So they fought against Garvey because Garvey's concept was for Black people to focus on our nation. And in fact, that's the theme of the convention, focus on the nation.
Okay.
So go right ahead, brother.
No, I'm just listening to you. I said, okay, go ahead, continue.
Okay, yes. So that's the theme of our 64th annual convention, is that we should focus on the nation. So you'll always have those who don't see the value in the people who have confidence to do everything that other nations are doing for themselves, from fueling their own economy, a system of international and transporting the people in giving their people a flag in which the flag is representing their interests, and that will give them justice. You have people that felt that it was not necessary for Black people to be separate and to establish their own government. Work against the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Right.
Because maybe they
also. We were experiencing technical difficulties, so we're back. We're coming up on a break. We're speaking with Omari Osei of the Universal Negro Improvement Association Detroit chapter. He's talking about the 64th annual convention coming up this week. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stand by. Back from break in 4 minutes. All right, stand by. Back from break in 4 minutes. Y'all should be able to hear me. We lost a connection there with Restream. Stand by. Back from break in 4 minutes. Okay, let me stop this broadcast and restart it. Stand by.